So Nitin, welcome in this workshop session once again. And I already communicated to our student that today we are going to cover up data pre-processing session. And if we left with more time, then we'll also touch the SVA. So best wishes, Nitin.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'll start it after
Yeah,
1 minute.
please.
Okay, sir?
Yeah,
1
you
or 2
take your time.
minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, please. No problem.
Yes, good afternoon, participants. My name is Nitin and I'm going to deliver the session on the data pre-processing. And if we left with the time, then I will start with the SVM also. Okay. So let's start with the session. Okay, so let's start with the data pre-processing part. Now, data pre-processing is a process of preparing your raw data, right? Raw data means kind of rough data and making it suitable for your machine learning model. So preparation of your rough data, raw data, so that it will be suitable for your machine learning model. That is called as the data pre-processing. And it is the crucial steps while creating any machine learning model. You know the steps of the machine learning, right? We have thoroughly discussed each and every steps. Like the first step is what? That is the problem identification. Once again, quickly I will revise that. ML, the first part, that is problem identification, right? The second one that we have data collection. The third one that we have, you can go with the data visualization. And fourth one, this third and fourth you might be swap. Okay, so you can change that one, data visualization, and that after the data visualization you can do the data pre-processing. Okay, and after that the steps is creating the ML model, okay, or build the model, creating or building the machine learning model, and that model should be built on the trained data set. The next step that we have, that is testing the model. And testing should be done on the test data set. And the last one, that is the deployment. Okay, so out of which today I'm going to cover this part, that is the data pre-processing. One of the important stage it is, one of the important step it is. Now, why there is a need of data pre-processing? As we know that a real world data generally contains some missing value, and maybe that data should be in unusable format. so which we cannot be directly used for the machine learning, right? So that is one problem that is associated with the raw data. And data pre-processing is one of the required tasks for cleaning the data and making it suitable for your machine learning model that increase the accuracy and efficiency of your ML model, whether it is a regression model or classification model or clustering model or dimensionality reduction model, whichever is the model it is, we need the data pre-processing. Now, important steps that we are going to cover into the data pre-processing. Okay, so one by one we'll discuss all the steps, and we'll discuss at the end, we'll discuss the case study, one case study on the data pre-processing. So let's just start. So the first steps that we have, getting the data set. Okay, so getting the data set, on which data set you want to work, that is called as the getting the data set. Then importing the libraries, whatever the libraries that are needed for the data pre-processing, we will discuss. Then importing the data set is also one of the steps. Okay, importing the data set, will import the data set into your IDE. Then extraction of dependent and independent variable, this is the fourth step. Then fifth step that we have, that is the finding the missing data. Sixth step that we have, it is encoding the categorical data. And seventh step that we have, it is splitting the data set into the training and testing set. Okay, and the final one is the feature scaling. So all these steps we are going to cover into the data pre-processing, and one by one we'll discuss it thoroughly. Now, next, get the data set. To create the ML model, machine learning model, the first thing, unless and until you have the data, you can't create the model. That's why it's the first steps, get the data set. So first thing we require is a data set, as ML model is completely works on the data. And most of the time we use the .csv file. So use our data in our code, we put it into the CSV file. Then importing the libraries, this is our second step. So in importing the libraries, whatever the libraries that are needed during the pre-processing, we'll import that libraries into our code. So the first library that is needed, it is the NumPy, and we have already discussed that library thoroughly. And basically that is useful for handling the multi-dimensional array, okay, and matrices. So to import the NumPy, we use import NumPy as NP. Okay, so by using this single line of code, you can import the NumPy. Okay, and as means that is for the aliasing purpose. Then next library, that is called as the pandas. This library also we have discussed. It is one of the most popular Python library, and it is basically used to import and manage the data set. Okay, so import and manage the data set means what? Using the read_csv function, we import the data set, and after that managing the data set means what? Extraction of dependent and independent variable, okay, by using the ILOC function can be managed by with the help of your pandas library. Also for checking the null values, we use that pd.isNull.isSum method, okay, .sum method to get the missing data present in your data set. Likewise, we have the several different operations that we can use with the help of pandas library. Okay, and the line of code that is needed, it is import pandas as PD. Okay, so using this single line of statement, you can import it. Wait. Then you can say sklearn materials. So it is the heart of your ML library. Okay, heart means everything, whichever is the model that. Hello.
Yes.
Someone is speaking, right? Kindly mute yourself, Vipul.
Is there any question? Okay, on the questions. Kindly mute yourself, please.
Okay.
Thanks for your question. Thank you.
Okay. Then scikit-learn library, it is a free machine learning library, and we can say it is the heart of your ML. Okay, machine learning. Why we can say it's a heart? Because every algorithm, whichever it is, like regression or clustering or the classification. Under the regression, you have the linear, simple linear, multilinear, polynomial. Okay, so all these regressions comes into all this regression class or the method that is present in the sklearn. Okay, that is present in the sklearn. Or similarly, all the classification algorithm which we are going to discuss, that also get into your sklearn library. Okay, so that's why it is called as the heart of the machine learning library. And to import it, hello people, any problem people? Yes. So by using the line of code import sklearn, we can import the scikit-learn library. Okay. So now this is all about the importing the library, which is the second stage. Then third step that we have into the data pre-processing, it is importing the data set. Okay. So to import the data set, we will use the read underscore CSV function, which is defined in the pandas library. Okay. And specifically that is used to read the CSV file. This is about the importing the data set, which is the third stage. After that, we have one more important stage that is called as the extraction of dependent and independent variable. Okay, so in machine learning, it is important to distinguish the independent variable and dependent variable from the data set. And to extract this variable, we use the ILOC method of the pandas library. So we have the three way. One is by indexing, second one is by level, and third one is by the location. So out of which that time I told you we regularly use ILOC method. Okay, so which is a method of pandas library. Now what do you mean by this dependent and independent variable? I will just explain it through the data set. So let me just show you the data first. Let's suppose this is our data set. Okay, now as far as this data set is concerned, the last column, that is the purchase column. Okay, so this purchase column is your dependent variable. Okay, the last column that we have, it is a dependent variable. And why it is a dependent variable? Because it is depend on this ABC column. ABC means country, age, and salary. Okay, so this is a kind of one data set in which we are going to predict the purchase habit of any customer. Okay, purchase habit of any customer on the basis of his age and salary. Means I can say the whether the person whether the person can purchase some product or not. That is a kind of problem. Okay, so this data set is specifically designed for such type of problem, whether the some certain customer or the person purchase certain product or not. Okay, so this is what our problem. Now as far as this data set is concerned, the purchase one is your dependent variable, and country, age, and salary, these are the independent variable. Okay, so dependent variable means as it is a presence of, whenever there is a presence of dependent variable, then that comes into the supervised learning. Okay, already we have discussed many times, right? So supervised learning means that is the label data we have, and label data means what? We have the dependent variable. Okay, so dependent variable we have, that is the purchase column, and the independent variable that we have, that is the country, age, and salary. And we basically train our model. Okay, we basically train our model. So to train the model, we first divide our data set into the dependent variable and the independent variable. We'll separate it out. Okay, so that is what the dependent variable and the independent variable. Now, so extraction, while yes, in the case study, I will discuss this thing, that is how to extract the dependent and independent variable during the coding part. Now, next, handling the missing data, right? So basically handling the missing data means what? It is one of the step of the data pre-processing, and it is used to handle the missing data in the data set. if our data set contains some missing data in the form of null values, then it may create a huge problem for the ML model, and it is necessary for us to handle this data. And already somehow we have discussed this handling of the missing data in pandas libraries also. But now same thing will have to do with the help of scikit-learn library. Okay, so that is what we'll have to do. Now, the first step that we have, it's by deleting the particular row. Okay, there are two approaches. One is by deleting the particular row, but that approach is not so much efficient, because due to this we'll get the loss of information, right? Removing the data may lead to us a loss of information, and you know the importance of data in the machine learning, right? So that's what we don't prefer this by deleting the particular row. Only when we prefer this by deleting the particular row or column, when the particular row or particular column contain the lot much null value. Now, second one that we regularly use, that is called as by calculating the mean, or you can say that by imputation. So we'll use that to calculate the mean of that particular column or the row which contain any missing value, and we'll put it on the place of the missing value. So this is what the handling the missing data. To handle the missing data, we use the scikit-learn library here, okay, and which contain various libraries for building the machine learning. Basically, that this is about the scikit-learn. Scikit-learn library contain the various which contain various libraries or various classes for building the machine learning model. So out of which we use the simple imputer class, okay, and that class is present in the sklearn.input library. While discussing the case study, thoroughly we'll discuss that part, that how to code the simple imputer. Okay, so this is just a theoretical part. Now, next part. That the next stage that we have, that is the handling the categorical data. Okay, handling the categorical data is also one of the part of your data pre-processing. Categorical data which has some categories, like in our data set there are two categories. Okay, so as per as our data set is concerned, there are two categories, two categorical column. One, this country is your categorical column. Second, purchase is your categorical column. Categorical column means what? It contains some categories, like country contain the France, Spain and Germany. These are the categories. Okay, so you can say up to 1 to 15. 1 to 15, that particular text, whichever is the text. So that time up to 1 to 15 we can call it as a categorical. Okay, so that's not the standard limit. Mostly we'll use, as far as the most of the data set is contain the 5 to 6 max to max categories. Okay, 5 to 6 max to max category, but you can just stretch it up to the 15 also. So you can handle this categorical column. Categories means like red, green. If we consider the color column, then the categories are red, yellow, pink, purple. So that is the kind of category we have, right? And the purchase one. So purchase column is also the categorical column which contain the yes and no values. Now, next. Now, what is the need of handling the categorical data? As we know that machine learning model completely works on the mathematics, right? Many a time I have discussed this thing with you, that totally your ML model, it works on the mathematics. Okay, everything. So mathematics means it's number, it's not the string. Okay, so due to which we need to handle these categorical variables, because you know that categorical variable is always in the form of string value. Okay, so then it may create trouble while building the model. And so it is necessary to encode this categorical variable into the number. So that is what the categorical problem with the categorical data, and we need to handle this categorical data. Okay, now how to handle this categorical data? So to handle the categorical data, we have the 3 steps. One is, that is the 3 steps when we use the sklearn library. Okay, specifically. So to handle the categorical data, the first steps that we have, that is the label encoding. second step that we have, it's a one hot encoding. And the third step that we are going to use, that is the avoiding the dummy variable trap. Okay, so these are the steps to handle the categorical data. Now, one by one, we will discuss what is label encoding, what is one hot encoding, and what is avoiding the dummy variable trap. Now, I hope you're clear with that categorical column and categorical values. Okay, so that is the important step. Unless and until you don't know the categorical data, you will not get the label encoding, one hot encoding, and the avoiding the dummy variable trap. So it is important to know, get to know about the categorical data. I hope categorical data is clear to everyone. If any problem, you can ask regarding the categorical data.
सर प्लीज समराइज कर दो एक बार कैटेगोरिकल डेटा.
Okay. Now, categorical data means what? We have the different types of data in our data set. As we know that, which types of data we have in our data set? Your normal CSV file data set contain normal data like numerical column. Okay, means the numerical data, right? The second one, it contains some text data. Okay, and one may contain the categorical data. Categorical data. Now, you know the numerical column, right? Numeric data means what? Age and salary. This is your numeric column which contain the numeric data. Okay, right? Clear? Now, text data means what? Text data means the rough data. Text data means that you cannot have the category. Let's suppose I will add one more part here. Address. Okay, so address is here. ABC, ABS, road. Okay, then USA. Okay, kind of this. This is called as the text data. Okay, so this is your address column contain the text data. Okay, so do you get the text data?
Yes, sir.
Now, have you observed the difference between the categorical data and text data now? Because categorical data contains some categories. Okay, and that should be limited one. It's not like that you have the 100 or 200 categories. That should be a specific category. Right. So here in this data set, the country column is the categorical column which contain the 3 categories. Okay, France, Spain, and Germany. And the purchase is your categorical column which contain the 2 category, yes and no. Now, is it clear? Okay.
Yes, sir, got it.
Yeah.
Now.
Categorical. Again.
Hello. Sir, your voice is breaking, sir.
Job role. Again.
Hello. Your voice is breaking. Amit, sir. I think there might be an issue with internet connectivity at your end. Okay. Now, let's start with the steps that are associated with handling the categorical data. So first steps that we have, that is the label encoding. Okay, so name itself indicates the label. Okay, label encoding means just assign one label to each category. Okay, so here I am considering one example in which breakfast is one column. Okay, and that breakfast contains 4 categories. Okay, the 4 category means every day is your one category, never is another category, rarely is another category, and most day is your another category. Okay, so this is what the categories that we have into the breakfast columns, and that column is continue. Okay, should be continue. Now, label encoding means what? Assign one label to every category. Okay, so and that should be in random order. Okay, it's not like that that you need to follow some stage, some kind that alphabetical order or kind of that thing. Okay, no need of that. Okay, because these categories are not depend on each other. Okay, all are having the equally you can say you can't compare this categories. Okay, it's not like that every day is greater than never or every day is less than never. So there is no comparison. Comparison comes when it is a numerical column. Okay, comparison comes when it is a numerical column only. So observe here, after the label encoding, there we use the label encoder class. During the coding I will discuss it again. Now you just observe here, every day is assigned with the label 3, never is assigned with the label 0, rarely is assigned with the label 1, most days assigned with the label 2. Okay, so this is what the label we have assigned. Now again, in the next step, whenever the never comes, that get assigned with what? 0 value. Similarly, rarely comes after this, rarely, then it is assigned with the 1 value. Okay, so likewise we'll proceed. Okay, so this is what we have, the label encoding, and we'll assign the different label to your different category. Okay, so this is what the label encoding we have. Now is it sufficient for us to just stop by doing the label encoding? Answer is your answer is no, because we can't stop, because we have some problem up for this column also. We have some problem. Okay, we'll discuss that problem, and that's why there is a need of one hot encoding. Okay, so I will discuss that problem with you, what the problem is. So for that problem we need to use the one hot encoding. Okay, so now one hot encoding means what? One hot encoding creates the new column indicating the presence or the absence of each possible value in the original data. Okay, so now let me just open it. Now, problem with the label encoder. Now, anyone from your end, those who can tell me what is the problem associated with the label encoding? Why we go for the one hot encoding? Anyone from the class? Because somehow I have covered that part also while explaining the label encoding. The problem associated with the label encoding, and that's why we'll move for the one hot encoding. Anyone from the class? Okay. So the problem with the label encoding is that if we supply this column to your ML model, this is ML model. Okay, so I have supplied this, I have given input to your ML model as this label encoded column. Okay, this is my label encoded column. So internally, already told you, ML do some mathematics. Okay, so ML do some mathematics means what? Mathematics is always on numbers. So kind of mathematics means what? It just calculate the correlations among these numbers, like comparing this 3. So from this he just compare, like your ML model, 3 is greater than 0. Okay, 3 is greater than 1. Okay, 3 is greater than 1, 3 is greater than 2. Okay, so this is what ML model performs internally. Okay, but this is not the case. Your everyday is not greater than your never. These are just the categories. These are just the category. So you can't compare that one. Okay, you can't compare that one. But still your ML model doing that thing because of these numbers present in your label encoded column. Okay, so that is not the case. Everyone is having the equal meaning, right? Every day is having the equal meaning, never is having the equal meaning. So likewise here itself also in this column, in this data set also. Observe here. As far as this country column is concerned, France, Spain, and Germany, you can't compare like that. Germany is greater than Spain and Germany is greater than France. Okay, you can't compare it. Okay, so all are having the equal range. Let's suppose someone just label encoded. It's like France is as 0, Spain is as 1, and Germany as 2. Okay, now, so your ML model try to compare the countries. Okay, ML model try to compare the countries. Okay, and analyze some relation, analyze correlations like Germany is greater than France, okay, and Germany is greater than Spain, and that is not the case. We don't want this kind of comparison, okay, and so that's why we'll move further into the one hot encoding. Okay, so this is what the problem associated with the label encoding. Now the next steps that we have, that is the one hot encoding. So one hot encoding creates new column indicating the presence or the absence of each possible value in the original data. So it just gives us the indications. Okay, it just gives us the indication as a presence of the data. Okay, so 1 means there is a presence of that particular data, and 0 means there is no presence. So as far as this example is concerned, observe here when we do the one hot encoding. Let's suppose you have the color column, which is your categorical column, which contain the 3 categories: red, yellow, and green. Okay, observe here, red, yellow, and green. So after one hot encoding, so this is what the table after one hot encoding. After one hot encoding, so here you observe here 1 is placed at the red, okay, and 0 0 is placed in the yellow and green. Okay, so 0 0 you are getting here. So whenever you will get the red in the next attempt, so every time 1 is present in the red column and 0 0 is present in the other column. Okay, so likewise it is for the yellow, likewise it is for the green, likewise it is for the yellow again. Okay, so observe here. So this is what your one hot encoding. We just place that particular one, okay, particular one into the required column. Okay, so this is what your one hot encoding. And we use the one hot encoder class and the column transformer class of sklearn library while coding the doing the coding. Okay, so that time again I will explain this one during the coding part. I hope it is clear. Label hot encoding, difference between the label hot encoding and one hot encoding. Now next. So the next task, now still there is a, still we have still it is not completed. Okay, so still we have one more steps, right? So anyone from the class who can tell me what is the need of avoiding the dummy variable trap, and the name itself indicate the meaning. The next steps that we have after the label encoder.
Free space so that data should be minimized.
Data should be, hello, the column red.
We can eliminate one column.
Yes, we can remove the one column, but what is the need of that? Anyone? Why
Sir,
we are going to remove that one?
Minimization
Yes,
of the
minimization of the data, right? Very good. Minimization of the data, because already we know that if the categories are 3, if the 3 categories are there, then 2 column is sufficient. 2 column is sufficient to identify the 3 categories. Okay, once again I will explain this part. If we have 3 categories, okay, so for 3 category, 2 column is sufficient. Okay, for 2 column is sufficient means what? Let's suppose I just ignore this one. Now how it is sufficient for us? And actually why we are going to removing that column? Because we want to minimize our data set. Let's suppose your data set contain 1 lakh rows. Okay, so there might be a create the problem of the space. It creates the problem of space. So better to remove that particular one column. Okay, so it will just save the space. Now observe here. Three categories, and with the for this three category I'm just using the 2 column. Now observe here, whenever there is a presence of 0 0, by default your machine can understand that it's a red color. Okay, when it is 0 0. So whenever there is 0 0 in future, your machine can understand that it's a red color. 1 0 means the yellow color. Okay, 0 1 means it's a green color. Again 1 0 means it's a yellow color. So in avoiding the dummy variable trap, we just ignore the one column, particular column we're going to ignore. Okay, and out. So if let's suppose we have the three categories, so you just need the 2 column for the identification purpose, and so the same we will do in the avoiding the dummy variable. So in avoiding the dummy variable trap, we just remove the first column. Okay, and mostly we use to remove the first column. Okay, first column from after the one hot encoding. Okay, so here observe here, red column is removed. Clear? Avoiding the dummy variable trap. I hope it is clear. So
Yes.
in handling the categorical.
Excuse me, Nitin. If, for example, I have a data of 200 villages, what should I do in that case?
200 villages.
The number of rows are many more. So, for example, I have a 200 number of rows. In that case,
200 number of rows. Okay.
Yeah. How I can categorize that?
Villages data set, and be specific with the column also. What columns in your data set?
I have more than 10 columns.
10 columns. Okay.
Yeah, for example, their area, their population, their gender, number of farm machines, etc.
Okay, let's suppose we take gender as one column. Okay, and you know that gender contain what? Male.
Yes, male.
Three categories. No, transgender is also there nowadays.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what the three categories that we have. Okay, now as far as your data set is concerned, 200 villages, will select the gender column as a categorical column, and will apply these stages like label encoding, one hot encoding. Hello, Shiv Kumar.
Yes, please.
Yes. So for handle this, gender is your categorical column as far as your data set is concerned. So there might be some other column also which are having some other categories. Okay, so that you need to handle. Okay, that you need to handle by using the label hot encoding, by doing the label encoding, one hot encoding, and avoiding the dummy variable trap. Clear?
Yeah, clear.
Okay. So this is what we have discussed into the categorical data. Okay, label encoding, one hot encoding, and avoiding the dummy variable trap. Now next important part is what? Splitting the data set. Okay, so we generally split your data set into the two part. One is the training data set and another is the testing data set. So in machine learning, in data pre-processing stage, we'll do this thing. Okay, we divide our data into the training and testing. So training data set means what? A subset of Shreya, please mute yourself, Shreya Mera. Okay, training data set, a subset of the data set to train the ML model, and we already know the output. Okay, so
मैं स्माइली मेरे लिए स्माइली आप लोग खा लो मैंने सुबह खा लिया.
Hello Shreya. So training data set we have, and the testing data set. Testing data set means a subset of data set to test the machine learning model. Training data set means a subset of data set on which we are going to train the machine learning model. Okay, so this is what my complete data set. It get divided into the two part, training and testing data set. We use the training data set to create the ML model. we will build our model on the basis of your training data set, and specifically this small part, okay, this is small part we are just using for the testing purpose. Okay, this is just for the testing purpose. Okay, for what purpose? Testing means what? We have created the model. Okay, we have created the model on the training data set, and after creating the model, we need to check the performance of the model, right? So to evaluate the model, we need some data, right? So we need some data, so why we use this test data set, and we test the model. We test our ML model on this testing data set. So for creating the ML model, we use the training data set. Okay, and for evaluating the performance of the model, we use the test data set. Okay, and we generally divide the data set into the two part, where the training data set percentage is maximum. Okay, somewhere down the line, you many of you read like this, that 70-30 combination. Okay, but this is not the standard combination, right? 70 for the training and 30 for the testing. Okay, it's not like that. Only thing is, it's not the standard. Okay, 70-30. 70-30 means what? 70 for the training and 30 for the testing. Let's suppose you have the 100 rows. Okay, 100 rows, and out of which 70 goes into the training and 30 goes into the testing. Okay, so this is what the training and testing dividation. But one may can use the 80-20 also. Okay, one may can use the 90-10 also. Okay, it is as per our requirement. Okay, it is as per our requirement. It's up to you which part, which dividation you want. Okay, so 70-30, only thing is that you just have to take care maximum data should be going for the training. Okay, because you know that the importance of the data, unless and until you have the lot much data to train your model is not work properly. So you need lot much data. So that's why try to give many data to your training set. Okay, so one may do the combination like 70-30, 75-25, then I can say 80-20, 85 or 15. Okay, okay, so this is what the splitting the data set. Okay, once again I will repeat this. Let's suppose you have the 100 rows into your data set. Okay, 100 rows into your data set. Now, as a part of training and testing, we divide this data set into the training and testing. Okay, and let's take the dividation as 75 and 25. So I'm using this dividation, that is 75 and 25. So 75 rows of the data set goes into the training set. Okay, and 25 rows goes into the testing set. Okay, so this is what the training and testing, right? I hope it is clear, splitting the data set. And for this we use the train test split class to split the data set, and during implementation I will discuss that code with you. Now the last part that we have after the feature scaling, after the splitting the data set, we have the last stage that is called as the feature scaling. Now feature scaling, what is the need of feature scaling? Feature scaling is the final step of the data preprocessing in the machine learning. It is a technique to standardize the independent variable of the data set in a specific range. Standardizing means what? Normalizing. Okay, so normalizing means what? I will explain through this. Now, what is the need of feature scaling? Already I told you many a times, your ML model totally depends on the mathematics, and everything internally it's do the maths. Okay, so let's suppose when we supply without feature scaling, let's suppose I just give this column to these two columns to your machine learning model. Okay, without feature scaling. Now what problem is there here? So the problem is here that this salary column is in a 5-digit. Okay, and the age column contain the data. Salary column contain the data which is of 5 digits. Okay, numeric column it is. And age your another column which contain the data which is having the 2 digits data. Okay, and max to max age should be your 3 digits, not beyond that. Okay, but internally machine learning, what it's do internally, it get confused. Now how it get confused? It when it compares the salary column with the age column, like salary column, let me take one example. Internally when it just take these two value 48 and 65k, so when it compares, then it can just observe that your machine learning model observe that 65,000 is greater than 48. 65,000 is greater than 48, right? But that is not the case. That is not the case because age is having the different, you can say the different range. Like age is max to max 2 or 3 digit. Age की range क्या रहेगी? 2 से 3 तक ही रहेगी, right? And salary, it should be 5 digits or 6 digits. And you cannot compare the age values with the salary column, right? Because the range is fixed, right? But machine learning model do this kind of things. Like 35, it just compare the 35 with 58,000, and that should be like that. The salary, this 58,000 is greater than the 35, but it is not the case. So to avoid this problem, we just go into the one normal scale, one scale, so that every column is going to be into the one scale. One scale means what? Let's suppose you have one more column here, okay, which contains some other values like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4 digits value, and so on. Okay, this is your third column. Now, so to make it into the one scale, we use some techniques called as the feature scaling, under which we have the technique called as the standardization and the normalization, and out of which we are going to use the standardization. Now, as far as the standardization means normalizing this data into the one scale. So one scale means what? It should be like that 0.38, okay, 0.6, then 0.1. So everyone is, after doing the feature scaling, all goes into the one scale. Okay, all goes into the one scale, and that is what the need of feature scaling. I it is clear. What do you mean by scaling? Anyone is having the problem with the feature scaling? Okay, so this is what the last part that we are having, that is the feature scaling. And for this feature scaling, I will use the standardization technique. Okay, so in sklearn we have the standard scaler class to do this thing. The specifically standardization is like that: x minus mean of x divided by a. ओके एक बार मैं फिर से रिपीट करता हूं. नाउ feature scaling is just for normalizing your data. Normalize the data into one scale. One scale. Do you know the meaning of scale? What do you mean by scale? Let's suppose your A column is in scale of 5. Scale of 5 means what? That contain the value like okay, so this is your A column. Now B column, scale of 3. Okay, so this is what your scale of 3. C column, which contain the data in the scale of 1. Okay, now let's suppose your data set contain this ABC column. Okay, and all these column is having the different data with different scale. Okay, different scale. So I have discussed with you, when it goes into the your ML model, into your ML model, then it just compare this two with this 300 and with this 10,000. But that is not the case. We cannot compare the column C with the A and B scale, because this is not in one scale, right? This is not in one scale. It is just same as like that of the money currency, right? You cannot compare the dollar with the rupees, right? The same thing is here, just like the scale, doing the scaling. So 2 you cannot compare with the 3,000, 2 you cannot compare with the 10,000. So but machine learning do it. Machine learning internally do this thing and get confused. Okay, and get confused. And to solve this problem, we'll use the feature scaling. Now to solve this problem, we use the feature scaling, and we use some approaches like standardization is one approach. Okay, so in standardization, we use the formula like x minus mean of x divided by standard deviation. Okay, so divided by standard deviation. So we specifically use this formula x minus means divided by standard deviation, and through which you will get all the data into one scale. Okay, so A, B, and C all goes into the one scale. Clear? Now, I hope it is clear. जिसने क्वेश्चन पूछा था, क्लियर हो गया? Yes. So this is what we have in the feature scaling, right? So after the break, we'll discuss the case study. Okay, actual implementation, how we are going to perform all these steps on the data sets. Okay, so all these steps. Sir, what we will do if there is a hyphen? Repeat your question.
सर अगर डाटा सेट में किसी पर्टिकुलर कॉलम में हाइफन हो इंस्टेड ऑफ नल वैल्यूज,
राइट, हाइपन
यस सर,
देखो
सिंबल
वन वे तो सिंपल ऐसा वे रहेगा कि डायरेक्टली हम डिलीट कर सकते हैं, लेकिन अगर आपको हाइपन हैंडल करना है तो हम क्या करेंगे, जैसे फिल एने मेथड है, वहां पे फिल एने मेथड हम यूज कर सकते हैं। उसके बाद हम रेगुलर एक्सप्रेशन भी यूज करते हैं। जैसे कि हाइपन वाला जो प्रॉब्लम आता है ना, ये जनरली एनएलपी में आएगा, नेचुरल लैंग्वेज प्रोसेसिंग में क्या रहता है, जो टेक्स्ट डेटा रहता है, जनरली टेक्स्ट डेटा। So जब text data आता है, that time we will get the hyphen many a time, and that time we will handle with the help of the regular expression. Okay, madam?
ओके सर। सर आप इसमें एक एग्जांपल लेके बता देंगे?
नेक्स्ट क्लास में जैसे हमारा जो NLTK वाला जो एक सेशन है ना मैडम, इसमें हम NLP भी थोड़ा बहुत स्टार्ट इंट्रोडक्टरी पार्ट कवर करूंगा, तो उसमें ये पार्ट हो जाएगा आपका कवर रेगुलर एक्सप्रेशन में।
ओके सर,
ठीक है, ओके
सर।
हाँ पूछो
सर, व्हाट इफ अ डाटा सेट कंटेन्स हाउस नंबर डाटा सेट कंटेन्स हाउस नंबर एंड सेल, उस एरिया के अंदर मतलब इस हाउस से ये परचेज आ रही है, इस हाउस नंबर से ये परचेज आ रही है, तो
जनरली हम हाउस नंबर जैसे रहेगा, लेट सपोज अगर ये स्पेसिफिक है हाउस नंबर, तो इट इज अ न्यूमेरिक कॉलम, राइट, लाइक दैट।
यस सर, न्यूमेरिक है।
यस, 102, राइट। सो देयर इज नो नीड टू हैंडल दिस
सर, बट अगर ऐसा हो कि जैसे कि पर्टिकुलर जैसे कि 105 हाउस नंबर से मैक्सिमम मैगी ज्यादा परचेज हो रही है, 102 से ये आइटम ज्यादा परचेज हो,
उसके लिए तो हमें मॉडल क्रिएट करना है ना। उसके लिए हम जैसे कि हमारे पास जैसे रिग्रेशन मॉडल है, ML मॉडल है, जैसे क्लस्टरिंग मॉडल है, क्लासिफिकेशन मॉडल है, वो हमें लगाने पड़ेंगे। उसके बाद ही हमें कुछ पता चलेगा कि 102 से मतलब किस हाउस से कितनी ज्यादा परचेस हो रही है। तो उसके लिए तो हमें मॉडल्स लगाने पड़ेंगे अलग अलग। जो अब तक शायद आपने
इसमें कैटेगराइजेशन करना पड़ेगा, जैसे 0 1 वगैरह, जैसे नॉर्मल स्ट्रिंग में
नहीं नहीं, इसमें तो कुछ जरूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि इसमें क्या रहेगा, हाउस नंबर ऐसा कुछ अगर डेटा सेट रहता है, हाउस नंबर 101 102 एंड एक क्या रहेगा, परचेस क्वांटिटी, ऐसे अगर डेटा सेट है परचेस क्वांटिटी, ठीक है, एक ये कॉलम रहेगा, तो सीधा हम इसको एमएल मॉडल को इनपुट दे देंगे। तो इसमें आपको कैटेगराइजेशन करने की जरूरत नहीं है, वन हॉट इनकोडिंग या फिर लेबल इनकोडिंग लगाने की जरूरत नहीं, ठीक है।
लेकिन जो फिर ये हाउस नंबर, फिर ये एमएल मॉडल तो कैलकुलेशन करेगा ना, नंबर के बेसिस पे न्यूमेरिक मिला उसको।
नहीं, ये हाउस नंबर तो आपका अलग रहेगा ना, हाउस नंबर आपका डिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल रहेगा, इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल, परचेस आपका इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल रहेगा अगर हम सुपरवाइज लर्निंग मॉडल करेंगे तो ये आपका एक सेपरेट ही रहेगा, ये आपका एक सेपरेट ही रहेगा,
ओके
right? So let's take a break of 15 minutes, okay, and after the break we'll discuss the coding, that is the data pre-processing one on one data set, okay. So
Dear, question in the chat box so that one can return back. We will take question in the end of session. Please, thank you.
7:15.
Nitin ji, there are few questions.
Wait, hello sir, hello
हाँ।
Amit sir,
हाँ,
right.
यहाँ पे कुछ लोगों ने, आप देख लेंगे प्लीज चैट बॉक्स में।
Hello Amit sir,
Am I audible? आप मुझे सुन
yes,
पा
you
रहे
are audible, you are audible sir, you are
हाँ।
audible.
There are few questions are being asked by the participants.
Okay sir,
In chat box, please.
okay.
Thank you very much.
Please repeat one more time. Okay. I think hyphen present in the data instead of null value. Okay. So the hyphen present in your data, basically that hyphen should be present when you have the text data, and that time we use the NLTK library to remove that hyphen, okay, and that we will going to cover. We have one more method that is called as the dot replace method in that NLTK. So, and also along with that we need to use the regular expression concept, okay, that is should be specifically for that particular string. But let's suppose you are talking it about particular file, okay, so let's suppose you have one file particularly, I think my screen get this, okay, right. So pd.data frame, I'm creating one frame here, let's take some value, a colon that contain 1 comma 2 comma your dash value. Okay, so you can apply same it on the actual data set also. Okay, let's suppose your data set contain that dash or hyphen in your data set, so you can apply same over there also, and comma b colon dash 10 comma 20 c colon
नींबू लगाया तूने अच्छी तरीके से, पहले बोल। मेरे को नींबू और नमक चाहिए होता है बस।
hello madam, kindly mute yourself. Yes, this is what my data frame. Okay, the same you can apply it on the your actual data, means actual .csv file. Let me just show you the actual this is your actual data frame. Now your question is, you want to replace that hyphen by null value, right? So we have one more method, that data dot replace. Okay, and what we need to replace, we need to replace that particular hyphen, whichever is the value you can take, and you want to replace with the help of np.nan, right? That should create the null value. And if you are using the np, then you need to import one more library, that is your import numpy as np. Okay, so let me just show you. So observe here. So this is what one way, with the help of the pandas replace method, you can do this thing. There are some several ways also, like regular expression. Okay, so that is a part of that particular natural language processing. I hope it is clear. Geeta Kochar. Clear, madam?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Then, Sanket, label encoding, Saket, label encoding, one hot encoding, question mark. What you want to say?
सर वो गलती से था, मैं सर क्वेश्चन उसका रिपीट करना चाहता था कि जब उसने पूछा था ना हाउस नंबर का कि 101 है और 102 है, डिफरेंट हाउस नंबर्स हैं हमारे पास।
ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं, चलो अब नेक्स्ट पार्ट स्टार्ट करते हो। क्वेश्चंस तो हो गए शायद।
नहीं, एक्सक्यूज मी सर।
और है कुछ? नहीं। हाँ, कुछ बोलना है साकेत आपको?
यस सर।
स्टार्ट करना है नेक्स्ट पार्ट?
नहीं सर, एक क्वेश्चन है मेरा।
हाँ पूछो।
कि सर जैसे हमारे पास अगर हाउस नंबर है डिफरेंट 100, 200, 300, ऐसे 3 हाउस नंबर हैं, तो सर अगर ये न्यूमेरिक वैल्यू है, अगर हम इसको मशीन लर्निंग मॉडल में डालेंगे तो सर वो 300 हाउस नंबर को ज्यादा प्रायोरिटी देगा एज कंपेयर टू 100 वाले को। तो
नहीं,
इसके लिए हम क्या यूज करेंगे?
that time there is no such case, साकेत, कि ये स्पेसिफिकली क्या है, हाउस नंबर है। हेलो,
यस सर।
यहाँ पे क्या रहेगा आपका हाउस नंबर, तो जनरली अभी हाउस नंबर 100, 200, 300 है, तो ये स्पेसिफिकली डिवाइड हो जाएगा आपका डिपेंडेंट और इंडिपेंडेंट कॉलम में। तो दूसरे कॉलम के साथ हम कंपेयर ही नहीं करेंगे अगर आपके पास ऐसे अगर डेटा सेट है तो। और फिर भी अगर आपको लगता है तो आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा, 100 आपको लग रहा है कि कंफ्यूजन हो रहा है मशीन को, तो आप 100, 200 को इसको रिप्लेस कर दो ABCD से आपके डेटा सेट में, just by using this dot replace method. आपकी तरफ से नॉइज आ रहा है साकिब। आई होप साकिब इट इज क्लियर। ऐसी केस स्टडीज है हमारे पास जिसमें ऐसे नंबर्स रहेंगे, ठीक है।
Hello. Sir,
Hello.
one question is there. Sir, what
पूछो।
if a column that is need to be categorized have more than 200 unique values?
200 unique values, so then we will not go for the categorization. That time we'll consider this as a text data. Up to the 15, max to max 15 value, you can use the one hot encoding. Means you can say that is the category, but let's suppose you can say it's a 200, then you'll have to consider it as a text type of data.
Okay, sir.
Clear?
Thank you.
Okay. And again, it is depend whatever you want to take. The decision that should be depend on your data set. Sometimes what happen, house number is there, but that column is not needed for the machine learning. So that time we just, without doing anything, we just ignore that column. We just go with dropping the column. Okay. Many a time the cases should be like that. We need to remove lot many columns also. Okay. Whatever the columns that are really plays an important role. Okay. Really plays important role means what? That will be, let's suppose I'm having this data set. Okay. So as far as this data set is concerned, so one may can, let's suppose कि अगर मुझे सपोज कंट्री कॉलम मेरा ऐसे लग रहा है मुझे कि परचेस के लिए कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले ही नहीं कर रहा है, ठीक है, प्ले ही नहीं कर रहा है रोल, तो हम क्या करेंगे, इसको हैंडल ही नहीं करेंगे, ठीक है, इसको सीधा क्या करेंगे, डिलीट कर देंगे। ये भी कर सकते हो आप। लेकिन अगर ये कॉलम अगर प्ले कर रहा है इंपॉर्टेंट रोल, तो दैट टाइम यू नीड टू हैंडल इट। ओके, दैट टाइम यू नीड टू हैंडल। Similarly, this address column is not playing an important role here for purchase. Okay, so specifically we'll consider the age and salary. Okay, age and salary, and we'll take this age and salary and as an independent variable and purchase as your dependent variable. So it is on you which column you want and which column you do not want. Okay, so it's up to you. तो कई बार ऐसे भी होगा कि हम हैंडल नहीं करेंगे कैटेगोरिकल कॉलम, सीधा रिमूव कर देंगे। Now next, let's start with the data pre-processing part now. Now the first part is, now as far as import get the data set, so I'm having this data set. Okay, I'm having this data set. Okay, so get the data set is done, which is my first part. Now next part is import the library. Okay, so the libraries that I'm going to import are import numpy as np, import pandas as pd, okay, it should be pandas. Now this is about the first step, that is importing the library. Now next step is import the data set. Now how to import the data set? Many of you know about the data set, how to import the data set. Okay, pd dot read underscore csv, and particularly we pass the name of that file. So I will just check the name of that file. I think name is data.csv. Okay, so this is what the name, and data.head, through which I will get to know about the first 5 rows of my data set. Okay, so this is what importing the data set. Now next part is we're going to check the value. Okay, before handling the null value, we'll check the null value. Now, how to check the null value? So we have the command that is called as data dot is null dot sum, through which you get to know about the missing value. So country column is having the 0 missing value, age column is having the 1 missing value, and salary is having the 1 missing value, and purchase is not having any missing value. So out of which we are getting the missing value. Observe here. So we are getting the missing value. Okay, in the salary column contain 1 missing value. Next, age column contain missing value. Okay, 1 missing value. So this is what your missing value. Now, to handle this missing value, okay, so we need to handle this part also. But the next part that we have before this, to handle these null values, we are going to import extraction of the dependent and independent variable. Okay, after that we'll go for the finding the missing data and handling it. Okay, so let me just write here, that is extraction of dependent and independent variable. Now, so how to import the dependent and independent variable? So generally we use this x as a independent variable. So independent variable, it should be first, and dependent variable. Now x. So the function that we have, it is the ILOC function, ILOC, pd.ILOC, square bracket, all rows, and specifically, let's suppose I want country, age, and salary as my independent variable. Okay, country, age, and salary. These are my independent variable. So मुझे बताओ आप लोग कि मैं स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट में क्या ऐड करूंगा, कमेंट के थ्रू आप सेंड करो मुझे. जैसे कि फर्स्ट, दैट इज पार्ट रिलेटेड विद द कोलन, दैट इज फॉर ऑल द रोज, राइट. सविंदर कौर 0:3. Okay, Bhavya 0:3. Right, 0:3. 0:3 means what? It is 0, 1, and 2. Okay, 0:3. The meaning of 0:3 is 0, 1, and 2. Okay, in this way we can extract the your independent variable. Okay, 0:3 and dot values. Okay, so now this I can say this is my independent variable, independent. Then I will take another one, or let me just print over here in independent variable, print x. Pandas has no attribute ILOC. Okay, it should be not pd.ILOC, it should be data.ILOC, because we renamed as data. Okay, so here we have taken the data as a variable. So data.ILOC it is instead of pd.ILOC, and you are getting this independent, your independent variable. Okay, so this is what the extraction of your independent variable. Now next one is extraction of dependent variable. Now similarly, yes, how can we extract the dependent variable? Send it through chat box. How can I extract the dependent variable? Y is equal to, right, data dot ILOC square bracket, all the rows, right? All the rows, comma, there are several way, right? 3:4. Normally 3:4 means it's a 3. Okay, so 3:4 and dot values. Now print y. So this is what your extraction of the dependent variable. Okay, now the next step. After the extraction of independent and dependent variable, our next step is handling the missing value. Okay, our next step is handling the missing value. So we know that as far as my data set is concerned, I'm having the one null value in the age column and the salary column. Okay, and age and salary are the part of your independent variable. Okay, so now I'm using simple imputer class to handle the missing value. Okay, so our next task is to handle missing values. Okay, so handle the missing value. Now, how we can handle the missing value? So we need simple imputer class which is present in the sklearn.impute. So from sklearn.impute, okay, .impute, what we need to import? We need to import the simple imputer. This is the name of the class which is present in your sklearn.impute. Then we create the object of the simple imputer class. Okay, so let's create the object of the simple imputer class. So imputer is one variable. I can say it's the object of my simple imputer class. So how to create the object? Just write simple imputer, okay, and bracket. Through this line of code, you can create the object of simple imputer class. Okay, now object is created. Object is created. Now, our next task is to feed the imputer object into the independent variable x. So next task is feed the your imputer object into independent variable. Okay, independent variable x. Now, how to fit? By using the dot fit method, you can fit your x. Okay, so let's fit it. So let's fit it imputer dot. Okay, imputer dot fit is the method. Dot fit is the method in which I am going to fit whichever the column that I want to handle. Okay, so the column that I want to handle, it is present in the your independent variable, and out of which I am interested in all the rows, and the column number that I am interested in, it is 1:3. 1:3 means it is 1 2, and 1 2 means what? This is your 1 2. Age is your 1 and salary is your 2, which contain the null value NaN NaN. Okay, so this is what we feed the imputer object. Okay, so let me just store it into the imputer right now. So this is what we feed the object. Now next step is to transform it. Okay, so to transform it, we use, or you can say transform, instead of transform it, I can say replacing the missing data with mean value by transformation, by transform. Okay, now how to transform it? We use the dot transform method for that. So imputer dot transform, imputer dot transform, SFORM transform. Okay, and again we need to pass the same 1:3. Okay, this is what we want, and we'll just store this part into your x colon same. Okay, so the whatever I have transformed, I just stored it into this. And let's print this value. Okay, so this is what you are handling the missing value. Code to handle the missing value. Now shift enter. It takes some time. Now successfully executed. Okay, observe here. So by observing this data, your independent column, this is your age column and this is your salary column. Now we have this missing value NAN. Now it get replaced with what? Now it get replaced with the mean value. Okay, this will get replaced with the mean value, and this age column is also having one missing value, that is also get replaced with what? Mean value. Okay, and you can just I will just show you here also whether it is correct it or not. Now observe here the mean of this, it is 38.77. Observe at the bottom, this is what the mean, 38.77. Okay, so this is what my mean, and observe in the coding part also. So 38.77 you are getting it. Okay, now next. Similarly for the salary column, 63,777. 63,777, this is your mean value, and that gets placed here, okay, on the salary column. Okay, the same. Okay, 63.6377. Now this is what the use of simple imputer class. Okay, through simple imputer, I have replaced all the null values with the mean value. Okay, so once again I will explain. From sklearn.import impute, we import the simple imputer class. Then after that we have created the object. Then we use the dot fit method on the specified column. Okay, on the specified column, and then we replace the missing data with mean value by transformation by using the transform method, imputer.transform, and that particular column we have passed here and just print it. Okay, so this is what the way to handle the missing value with the help of simple imputer class. Okay, so I have handled this thing. Now what is our next task? Our next task is what? Encoding the categorical data. Okay, so let's start with the categorical data. Categorical data. Now, so your categorical data is present at so I will just take one categorical column over here, that is present at 0th index, right? So this is what my categorical column. Okay, now so let's start with the first one, that is called as the label encoder. Okay, so the first step that we have, that is the label encoding. You can do the label encoding by using the label encoder class, which is present in the sklearn.preprocessing library. So from sklearn.preprocessing, sklearn.preprocessing, import. And what we need to import? We need to import the label encoder, label LABEL and encoder. Okay. Now, so we have imported this library. We imported this class from label encoder. Okay. Now, let's just create the object of label encoder class. So you know that how to create the object now. So let's create the object and just give the one name. So let me just give the name here as label encoder. Okay, so this is what my object. This label encoder is variable. Okay, or you can say the object label encoder bracket. So through this line we have created the object of label encoder class. Okay, so label underscore encoder is the object of label encoder class. Now after that we use the fit underscore transform method. Okay, you can use the fit separately, like here also in simple inputer also you can use the fit underscore transform at single way, means you can directly use the fit and fit underscore transform also instead of doing separately. So but here I just want to show you how you can use fit underscore transform simultaneously. So let's take its object creation. Now next one is just create the label encoder, then fit underscore transform. Okay, fit underscore transform, and in which we will pass that particular value x in bracket. So your categorical column is present at 0th index, so I'm passing over here all row and 0th index. Okay, so that is what my categorical column, and I will just save it into the x colon 0. Okay, so this is what the fit underscore transform method. And the next task, that is print, and just print this particular value. So let me execute it. Okay, so there is error that is called as fit underscore transform. I think there might be a spelling mistake. It's not a transform, it's a transform. FORM. Now this is what the label encoding we have. The France is assigned with the 0 value, Spain is assigned with the 2 value, and Germany is assigned with the 1 value. Okay, so this is what we have. Now after the label encoder we have one hot encoder. Now to implement this part we need one more class that is called as column transformer also along with the one hot encoder. So let's start from sklearn dot preprocessing from sklearn dot preprocessing. What we need two classes. One is one hot encoder, okay, encoder E capital. Now next import column transformer. Okay, column transformer. Now so this is what we need to do the one hot encoding. We need these two classes, one hot encoder and column transformer. Now let's create the object ct is equal to column transformer. Okay, in bracket, square bracket, we need to add one hot encoder class along with that particular name of the country columns. Country, COUNTRY. Okay, country, and object of one hot encoder. Okay, object, and it is present at the 0th index. So index. Now next comma. Okay, comma. After that, one method is there that is called as the reminder is equal to pass through, that we need to use. I will tell you what is the use of that also. Reminder is equal to pass through. Okay, reminder is equal to pass through. Now So this is what we created. Now we just need to use the fit underscore transform like this fit underscore transform. So I'm copying it from here. X is equal to capital X is equal to ct dot fit underscore transform, and that should be on your complete X. Okay, so that should be on your complete X. ct dot fit underscore transform on complete X, and let's print the value of your X. Complete X means your independent variable. Now, so let's check. We import one hot encoder. We imported column transformer. Then column transformer in bracket country one hot encoder object and the particular 0th index and reminder is equal to pass through. So let me execute here. Against column transformer. Okay, it's not former. It's former. I think at one more places cannot import the name column transformer.
सिटी में सर
Wait,
ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएशन ऑब्जेक्ट में कॉलम ट्रांसफर पहले
ओके यहाँ पे भी फॉर्मर हो गया. ओके आर COLUMN. Let me just take this one out here first. So sklearn dot pre-processing column transformer. Here there is error. Okay, column transformer spelling TRANSFORMER COLUMN. Pre-processing is okay.
सर एफ कैपिटल तो नहीं
Okay. Okay, one minute. Column transformer is not in the sklearn dot pre-processing. Okay, it's not in sklearn dot pre-processing. It is in. Wait, I need to check it. I think it's in compose. COMPOSE. Okay, let's check. Now it is fine. Okay. So just replacing this part. Your column transformer is not present in the pre-processing library. It is present in the sklearn.compose. Okay, that's what we are getting the error. Now let me execute. Again, we are getting the error. I think it's through pass through spelling. Wait, I will check. Reminder. Okay, then reminder is equal to what? We have pass through. So let me just copy and paste it over here. Now fit underscore transform. Okay, then country one hot encoder object, everything is okay. Now let's check. Argument 2 ct dot fit underscore transform. Let me execute it again. Let's check it. Extraction of dependent independent. Right. Then label encoding. Right, this is fine. Now one hot encoding. Specifically, that should be needed in the bracket. Okay, here there is a mistake. Okay, country and up to this one hot encoder reminder. Now let me now done. So this is what your one hot encoder. Okay, now here what we are getting, this is your France, this is your Spain, I think, and this is a Germany column. Okay, France, Spain, and Germany column. Now reminder is equal to pass through. The meaning is that we don't want to change this. Okay, I just want to include these two column as it is. If you ignore this one, let's suppose I ignore that one, reminder is equal to pass through. Okay, now let me just print here. So observe here what you are getting. You will just get this two things. Okay, the remaining part you will lose. So that's why we use this reminder is equal to pass through. Now once again we need to do the same thing, because what happened, we are just replacing all the values. That's why our original x value gets changed, and because of that I am getting such a type of output. Okay, so let me execute it once again. Extraction of dependent and independent variable. Execute this one. Extraction independent, extraction dependent, simple imputer, label encoder. Okay, and now I'm using the reminder is equal to pass through. Okay, now it is okay. Anyone is having the doubt in the reminder is equal to pass through? You can ask now, otherwise I will proceed. Okay, reminder is equal to pass through means what? Okay, observe carefully now. Last time I am explaining this thing. Once again I am going to import the data set. Okay, import the data set. Then extraction of independent variable, extraction of dependent variable. This is your simple imputer. This is your categorical data, and we need to handle by using the label encoder. Okay, now one hot encoder. Now instead of using this reminder is equal to pass through, you know this output you will get. This is the actual output that we want. Okay, and we are using the reminder is equal to pass through, means this data we want as it is. Okay, that is the meaning of reminder is equal to pass through. Now observe here, when I just ignore that one, so this is the code, one hot encoder code, in which reminder is equal to pass through is absent. Okay, that I can say the reminder is null. Now I'm going to execute this one. Okay, observe the data now. So this is what the difference. You will not get that particular salary and age column. I hope it is clear now. This is your age column, and this is your salary column. पास थ्रू मतलब क्या कि जो एज और सैलरी कॉलम है वो हमें क्या करना है, एज इट इज पास थ्रू करने हैं. ओके, सो क्लियर है. इफ यू वांट टू रिप्लेस द NaN वैल्यू विथ मीडियन वैल्यू, तो हमें पांडास मेथड यूज करनी पड़ेगी फी लेने की, या फिर यहाँ पे कुछ एक्स्ट्रा एट्रीब्यूट्स भी है, sklearn. लेट मी जस्ट शो यू. Now observe here, Pramod Sharma. There are several strategies present into the imputer class. One may can use the pandas fill_na method also, but here also you will get some strategies. Strategies like by default the strategy is mean. Okay, but you can change it by median also, or by most frequent, and by constant. Clear, Pramod? Okay. जितेंद्र सिंह सर, सर प्लीज कहाँ पे गया इसका क्वेश्चन? सर प्लीज रिपीट द कॉलम ट्रांसफॉर्मर आर्ग्यूमेंट. ओके, ये भी समझ में आ गया ना आपको कि अलग अलग स्ट्रेटेजी है हमारे पास. मैंने क्योंकि कहा था आपको कि हम मीन भी यूज कर सकते हैं, मीडियन से भी रिप्लेस कर सकते हैं, मोस्ट फ्रीक्वेंट, कांस्टेंट से भी रिप्लेस कर सकते हैं. इट्स जस्ट लाइक योर पांडास मेथड, fill_na मेथड. नाउ मैं रिपीट कर रहा हूं, कॉलम ट्रांसफॉर्मर में जो आर्ग्यूमेंट पास कर रहा हूं. So this is the name country, just random name I am giving it to you, that is country. Object of one hot encoder, 0th index I want, and reminder is equal to pass through. Reminder is equal to pass through. I hope it is clear now, because 2 to 3 times I have explained it. Okay, clear now? Okay, so this is what one hot encoder. Now what is the next step after one hot encoder? What we need to do? Anyone? What is the next step? Please ask.
Set features setting.
No. Last step is remain, that is avoiding the dummy variable trap. That is, yes, Anshul, right. Remove the dummy variable trap. Now, how to remove the dummy variable trap? It's simple, so simple. Just X variable, okay, and I want X. So starting from what? How to remove? Anyone? How to remove the dummy variable? Those who know, just text me. Send it through the chat box. Okay, this is your 0th index, this is your 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. Yes, anyone? How to remove the dummy variable trap? Single line of code is needed. We can drop the 0th index. Yes, that is also the one way. But here I am using X is equal to X in square brackets. So you need to add some values. Okay, so that value should be starting from 1. Okay, that value should be starting from 1. First, it should be for all rows, right? No, Sanket, you just write the 1 colon. First, it is for all row. First, there is a need of colon, right? Now it is correct, right? Anshul, it is correct. Anshul Agrawal, 1 colon. Okay, 1 to all. Now, so all rows and 1 colon. Okay, through which I'm just removing that particular your first column. Print X. Okay, avoiding the dummy variable trap. So this is what the way to avoid the dummy variable trap. Now, wait, actually I just use this without reminder is equal to pass through. That's why I'm not getting the remaining one. So again, for that you need to do the same thing. Extract dependent, independent, imputer, categorical data, label encoder, one hot encoder, and now this one. Okay, 1 to all. Now it's correct. Observe here. So as far as my data set is concerned, the first one is the France, second one is the Spain, and third one is the Germany. France, Spain, and Germany. Okay, so this is my France, this is my Spain, and this is my Germany. Now what we did, we just remove this France column. Now the presence of 00 means it's the record related with the France. Okay, and the presence of the 01, it is that the record related with the Spain. And then next one is Germany. Okay, so this is what avoiding the dummy variable trap. Now, the next step. What is the next step? Anyone? After handling the categorical data, no, it's not the feature scaling. Generally, we'll perform the feature scaling at the end. We'll go for splitting the data set into the training and testing data set. Okay, so split the data set. Split the data set into train and test. So for that, which class we are going to use? We use the train underscore test underscore split class. Okay, so it is present in the model selection library. Okay, from sklearn dot model selection. Okay, from sklearn dot model selection, what we need to import? Train underscore test underscore split. This is the name of the class. Okay, this is the name of my class. We need to import it, right? Import train underscore test underscore split class. Now, what we need? we just have to create the object train underscore test underscore split. Okay, train underscore test underscore split. Now we'll pass the your dependent variable, independent variable, then your testing size and the random state value. So let me add the x value, then y value, okay, and your test size, test underscore size. It should be the in percentage that I am considering here 0.2. That is the meaning that 20% going to for the 20% is allocated for the test data set, 80% is allocated for the training data set, and random underscore state, that is your random underscore state. You can take any value for the random underscore state. Okay, now so let me execute it. Now before that I need to store it into the your xtrain. So observe here what we are getting. This is not complete. Okay, 8, it is not complete. This is your xtrain. Okay, this is your xtest. This is your ytrain. And this is your ytest, fourth one. So it get divided into the 4 part. Okay, xtrain, xtest, ytrain, and ytest. So you need to add all these values so that it gets stored into the that particular variable. So instead of that, let's suppose I want to directly use it. So you just go into the help section and copy it. This is the sequence that we want to use. Okay, paste it over here. Okay, now xtrain, xtest, ytrain, and ytest. Now execute it again. Now let me just show you your xtrain. Print xtrain. Okay, print your xtest. Okay, then print your ytrain and print your ytest. Okay, so this is what we have. That data set get divided into the 2 part, that is the training and testing set. So again, it get basically one may can say, sir, you said that it divided into the 2 part, but here we have the 4 part. But basically the main dividation is in between the training and testing. Observe here, train and test. Okay, so the actual dividation is in a train and test. But as we have the 2 variable, right, independent and dependent variable, so because of that we have xtrain here, and in the case of testing we have the xtest. Okay, again we have y variable as my dependent variable, so you'll have the ytrain, and in case of test you have the ytest. Now, so this is what about the splitting the data set into the training and testing. Okay, now last part that we have, it is the feature scaling. Now let's start with the last part. Now feature scaling. In feature scaling, what we'll use, we use the standard scaler class which is present in the sklearn.preprocessing import. What we need to import, we need to import the standard scaler class. Standard scaler class, okay, and we create the object of the standard scaler class. So creating the object st, that is the way to create standard scaler bracket. Okay, object we have created, and then we need to use the fit underscore transform on the training data set and the transform on the testing data set. So just we use the st dot fit underscore transform on your train data set. Okay, so xtrain, we need to pass xtrain for that. And on the testing data set, so let me just store it into the xtrain. Okay, xtrain, this is my xtrain. So this is what my training data set. Now next one is, let's store the xtest. Now on testing data set, we use the dart transform only, not fit. Transform. Okay, dart again dart form. And we need to pass the xtest and print that particular value of x, which value? Xtest. Right? Now let me execute. So we cannot import the name standard scalar. So let me just check the spelling over here. Cannot import the name standard and scalar. So the scalar, it is ER, not AR. Pre-processing is okay. Standard scalar, here also we need to use the ER. Transform, spelling okay. Okay, done. Now this is what your data after the feature scaling. Okay, so this is all about your data pre-processing part. So we have discussed getting the data set, we have discussed importing the libraries, importing the data set, extraction of dependent and independent variable, finding the missing data, encoding the categorical data, splitting the data set into the training and testing data set, and finally we'll perform the feature scaling. Okay, and now आपको कुछ भी क्वेश्चन है तो आप मुझे यहाँ पे टेक्स्ट कर दो जल्दी जल्दी, और जो क्वेश्चंस रहेंगे वो मैं नेक्स्ट क्लास में आपको उसका आंसर बताऊंगा, ठीक है, क्योंकि ऑलरेडी वी हैव क्रॉस द 6 मिनट. अमित सर.
Dear participant, please put your question chat box so that Nitin will note down the question so that he will revert back to you by tomorrow. Please.
I don't think up to the dummy variable trap, no one is having any question. Okay, avoiding the dummy variable trap. Most of you are having the question. I think it is related with the splitting the data set and it is related with the feature scaling. Okay, so you can just drop your question into the chat box. Okay.
Can you give them assignment?
Related to what?
Like
the data
can
processing
we
part?
send them some data set and so that they can do all the things on that?
Okay, okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Even though they are demanding,
Okay.
it. Just see in the
Okay,
chat
no
box.
problem. No problem. We'll. तो यहाँ पे उनको जो प्रॉब्लम आएगा ना, ये ट्रेन टेस्ट स्प्लिट क्लास के अंदर में जो पैरामीटर्स है इसके बारे में आ सकता है, क्योंकि वो मैंने पूरे एक्सप्लेन नहीं करे. उसके बाद आपको आ सकता है कि फीचर स्केलिंग में, जैसे मैं ही बता देता हूँ कि अभी आपने तो ऑब्जर्व नहीं करा अभी तक, मुझे क्वेश्चंस आया नहीं, जैसे मैं एक्सेप्ट करता हूँ हर बार. फीचर स्केलिंग में हमेशा क्वेश्चंस आता है. अभी भी मैं 1-2 मिनट देता हूँ आपको, क्वेश्चन एनालाइज करो फीचर स्केलिंग का.
एक जगह फिट ट्रांसफॉर्म लगाया है और एक जगह
राइट,
ट्रांसफॉर्म.
एक जगह पे ट्रांसफॉर्म लगा है. राइट, दैट इज द मेन क्वेश्चन. तो यही इसका आंसर मैं नेक्स्ट क्लास में करूंगा. ये सबसे मेन क्वेश्चन है. एक जगह पे फिट अंडरस्कोर ट्रांसफॉर्म लगाया है, एक जगह पे ट्रांसफॉर्म लगाया है, एंड ये क्यों करा है, इसके पीछे भी रीजन है. ठीक है, तो ये सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है जो अभी मैंने एक्सप्लेन नहीं करा है यहाँ पे. हाँ, एनी मोर क्वेश्चंस रिगार्डिंग दिस ट्रेन टेस्ट स्प्लिट क्लास पैरामीटर्स?
सर अगर
Okay,
2 डाटा सेट्स हो, सेपरेट ट्रेनिंग के लिए अलग और टेस्टिंग के लिए अलग, तो सर ने मुझे कहा था कनकैट कर देना दोनों डाटा सेट्स को. उसके लिए क्या कोड होगा सर?
मुझे एक बात बताओ, 2 डेटा सेट मतलब आपका पर्पस क्या रहेगा? सबसे पहले तो पर्पस बताओ मुझे. 2 डेटा सेट मतलब कैसे? एट अ टाइम 2 डेटा सेट पे आप क्यों काम करोगे? जनरली
उसके जैसे
नॉर्मल प्रोसेस रहती है हमारी कि पहले हम एक डेटा सेट के ऊपर काम करते हैं, उसके बाद दूसरे डेटा सेट के ऊपर काम करते हैं, राइट?
सर सपोज हम डाउनलोड करते हैं और उसमें ट्रेनिंग के लिए अलग दिया हुआ है और टेस्टिंग के लिए अलग।
ठीक है, राइट। ट्रेनिंग के
तो
लिए
उसमें
अलग दिया है,
सर
तो हमें डिवाइड करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है, फिर स्प्लिटिंग करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है कि अगर हमें ऑलरेडी अगर ट्रेनिंग डेटा सेट मिल रहा है कि ट्रेन ऑलरेडी है, टेस्ट भी ऑलरेडी है, तो डिवाइड करने की जरूरत नहीं है फिर।
तो दोनों के लिए हमें सेपरेट करना पड़ेगा प्री प्रोसेसिंग।
सेपरेट मतलब नहीं, अभी आपका जो क्वेश्चन है ना वो आपका थोड़ा स्टेप्स अलग हो गया। आपने पहले कहा था कि दो डेटा सेट का मीनिंग क्लियरली अलग रहता है, ठीक है। लेकिन कई डेटा सेट आपको ऐसे मिलेंगे कैगल पे, यूसीआई मशीन लर्निंग में, कि वहां पे क्या रहता है कि ट्रेनिंग डेटा सेपरेट रहता है, ट्रेनिंग अंडरस्कोर डेटा रहता है, एक टेस्टिंग अंडरस्कोर डेटा रहता है, ठीक है। ये जनरली जैसे इमेज प्रोसेसिंग रिलेटेड जैसे रहते हैं ना, उस जैसे कैट अंडरस्कोर डॉग वाला है एक प्रॉब्लम, तो उसमें ट्रेनिंग अलग है, टेस्टिंग अलग है, राइट। एक मिनट यहाँ पे शो कर देता हूँ मैं आपको ना। अभी देखो मैडम, यहाँ पे एक टेस्ट सेट टोटली अलग है, ठीक है। टेस्ट सेट में डिवाइडेशन भी करा है कैट और डॉग्स का, ठीक है, कैट और डॉग टेस्ट सेट में।
यस सर।
और ट्रेनिंग डेटा सेट अलग है, ठीक है। तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं रहता कि दो डेटा सेट है, ये एक ही डेटा सेट है जिसमें ट्रेनिंग और टेस्टिंग अलग अलग है। क्लियर मैडम?
ओके सर।
ओके देन, ठीक है। क्वेश्चंस तो व्हाट हैपन आफ्टर द फीचर स्केलिंग, ये क्वेश्चंस मैं नोट कर लेता हूं आपके, ठीक है, जो क्वेश्चंस आए हैं। और व्हाट हैपन why we are using the dummy variable trap, कॉन्केटिनेशन का तो बता दिया मैडम को, राइट। असाइनमेंट ट्रेन टेस्ट स्प्लिट क्लास, and one is feet underscore transform on train and transform on test, ठीक है। तो ये जब नेक्स्ट क्लास रहेगा मेरा, उसमें मैं आपके क्लियर करूंगा ये क्वेश्चंस। सेव एज क्वेश्चंस 2409 2020 ML
सर इसमें हम किसी भी डाटा सेट को ले सकते हैं?
ML, एक मिनट मैडम, ठीक है। ये क्वेश्चन स्टोर, हाँ मैडम पूछो।
सर जो दो डाटा सेट्स थे ट्रेनिंग और टेस्टिंग का, उसमें से हम किसी को भी ले सकते हैं?
हाँ, किसी को भी, मतलब किसी को, मतलब जैसे मैंने बताया ना, ट्रेनिंग किसके लिए रहता है, अगर मुझे एक मॉडल क्रिएट करना है तो दैट टाइम आई विल यूज द ट्रेनिंग डेटा सेट, ठीक है। मॉडल क्रिएट हो जाएगा मेरा एक बार ट्रेनिंग डेटा सेट के ऊपर। जो भी मॉडल क्रिएट करना है आपको, लॉजिस्टिक रिग्रेशन क्रिएट करना है, रैंडम फॉरेस्ट करना है, डिसीजन ट्री करना है, एसवीएम करना है, विच एवर इज द मॉडल इट इज। एंड एक बार वो मॉडल ट्रेन हुआ तो उसके बाद आपको डेटा चाहिए ना, एक्चुअल डेटा चाहिए कि जिसके ऊपर मैं टेस्ट कर सकूं कि सो दैट कि मेरा मॉडल सही से काम कर रहा है कि नहीं कर रहा है। क्रिएट करने से कुछ नहीं होगा ना, उसको टेस्ट भी करना पड़ेगा। तो उसके लिए मैं क्या करता हूँ कि हमेशा मैं नहीं, मतलब जनरली जो करते हैं लोग, तो डिवाइड कर देते हैं डेटा सेट को, ट्रेनिंग और टेस्टिंग के ऊपर हम उसको टेस्ट करते हैं। क्लियर मैडम?
यस सर।
ओके मैडम, ओके, ठीक है। अमित सर, can we
yes Nitin ji
okay,
so thank you very much for valuable thoughts sir on this particular topic.
Okay.
And all the participants, thank you so much for your patience. We'll continue with the next topic tomorrow. That's all for today. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.